this young lady.
You're a star. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, what it is, I come in on May the 12th and reported treason that's been committed by our government.
Yeah.
Now, the Chief Constable, Andy Marsh, has been sent documents proving the treason, and he's been put under notice of obligation to respond to that, which they never do respond.
So Andy Marsh retired?
Mr. Andy Marsh retired, correct.
Yeah, so he's no longer in post.
No, but he was at the time.
Okay.
Right. Now then, because I've got to read things, because I've got job remembering things, Because the police have refused to investigate my previous notices, one of compelled performance, which he's instructed to look into this, and the other one is notice of obligation. He's ignored both, and I've got a letter here somewhere saying that they've received. Right. Under the law of this land, common law, if the government is acting in treason, we have the right to distress the government in any way, which way we have to, On the 23rd of March 2001, the Barons Committee invoked Article 61 of the Magna Carta, which basically instructs all of us throughout the country to distress the government, And if that means not paying council tax, not paying bills, then that's what we've got to do. Okay? Now then, the council have also been put on notice. The courts have been put on notice. And none of them have responded to this. So now I stand under Article 61 of the Magna Carta. That's my oath of allegiance. Okay?
Yeah.
So the council, I stopped paying council tax because that is my way of saying to the government, you're not going to investigate treason. I'm not going to pay you my council tax, But the council have gone ahead with a summons anyway. Now, I've got to the point, I'm waiting for the bailiff to come. Now, I know through experience what the bailiff will do. They will call upon you, because you guys don't actually know very much about common law. I don't know whether you know that.
No, most what we deal with is statute law.
Well, acts and statutes do not apply unless we consent to it,
Once they get royal assent, they're put in.
Exactly. Now then, the council have been informed that I stand under Article 61 of the Magna Carta, and they've let all these summonses go ahead anyway, which, by the way, are fraudulent. Because what they're doing, this is nothing to do with common law, what I'm here today about, but what they're doing, council are renting out court chambers pertaining to be a lawful court when it's not. What they're usually doing is putting in ex-council solicitors, right? Now, I'll give you an example of the kind of stuff they're putting out. And you guys don't know about this, and you guys are going to get into trouble if you carry on doing this sort of thing. And they're putting out stamped documents pertaining to be from the court when it's not, That is an example of a fraudulent stamp. That is purely a logo. That is not from the courts, That would be a true stamp, which would be a wet ink signature from the judge. Are we clear on this now? Now then, I've never been issued with any proceedings from any court. I have sent a letter to the courts wanting to see all the documents and everything pertaining to my court case, and they've not answered that either. Yeah. So you see the manner of the fraud that's going on here. Yeah. It's enormous, and it has to stop. We cannot carry on in this way.
Okay.
Now, if you go to, I once sent a letter to the council saying to them, do you rent out court chambers? Because this is mainly what they're doing right the way across the country, usually on a Thursday or a Friday. They're renting out court chambers and pretending to be from the court when they're not. Yeah?
Okay.
So if I it's just for example, I get into a dispute with my neighbour, would it be right for me to call in my chums, yeah, one to act as a judge, another one to act as a police officer, and find my neighbour guilty, say, for an overhanging tree or something? That wouldn't be right, would it?
Now, I'm not sure what's happening in this case. I don't know.
Yeah, well, this is what they're doing, is they are getting, say, 50 or 60 people at a time for non-payment of council tax, finding them guilty, and it's never even seen a courtroom. Do you understand?
No, I know different things get heard on courts at different days, so they will have a whole day of doing one different thing, one certain thing. Like they've got domestic violence court, they've got TV licensing, do it on a certain day.
Yeah, but the courts will have nothing to do with this because it's not lawful.
I don't know.
No, they won't. If I went down to the courtroom now, and that's something that maybe you would like to investigate, and ask them, what, please supply the court number for this and that case, they'll refer you back to the council. That's wrong. It's got to stop.
I don't know. I know that the bailiffs do get instructed. I don't know how all of that is civil stuff. That's not
Right. Well, what they're doing is they are bringing out fraudulent warrants. Right. What they're showing people is an application for a warrant, not an actual warrant, because a warrant is supposed to be signed by the judge in a wet ink signature, not some sort of generic signature that they've downloaded from the internet. That's not allowed, but that's what they're doing.
So I don't know.
Yeah, well, this is why I'm coming to tell you. I know you guys, you don't know a lot of this stuff, because they keep you in the dark. Did you know, for example, that Avon and Somerset Police was run by IBM, Southwest One?
No, they weren't actually.
Does the name ring anything? Southwest One?
No, Southwest One.
Southwest One, right. Now, I've actually, under the Freedom of Information, I wanted to know if IBM were running the police forces. And first of all, they lied. But when I pressured them again, they admitted, and they even lied on the second occasion, said, well, yes, they were. But that all ended in 2018, and I have the email that can prove that, yeah? So you see the level of fraudulent things that are going on in this country. This here, that's just 5 pages of the European Wirtschaftsgemeinschaft, written up in 1942 by Adolf Hitler. Yeah? And this was what was used in the 1992 Maastricht Treaty. Yeah? And I'll let you have that. It's only 5 pages, but there is 122 all in all. And that's what they had planned for this country. Their intentions were to completely deindustrialize this country. Yeah? And this was all done with the help of Edward Heath, Douglas Hurd, and other traitors we had at that time. Now, you see, the thing is, all over this country, people are going to the police stations and they're saying to the chief constables, you got to look into this. We're not having it no more, and we're not. Yeah? But they don't, because you just go to the criminals, the same people that are controlling you, and they're just fobbing you off, which they then try and fob us off. The thing that I'm mainly here for today is I know that Marston's bailiffs intend to be tapping on my door. And I know they will be calling you, but under common law, you're obliged to stand there with your arms folded and not get involved. But often as not, you do get involved. Yeah, you are there purely to stop a breach of the peace. And I'm going to read this to you now, and this goes for any constable that comes to my door. I must caution you, whereas I stand under Article 61 of the Magna Carta 1215, which was invoked in March 2001, according to constitutional protocols. Any attempt to enforce unlawful acts and statutes we were talking about before, or legislation on myself will be taken as an act of high treason, for which you will stand trial before a jury of the people, and which still carries the gallows, which it does. I urge you to consider Nuremberg. I was just doing my job is no defence as evidence at those trials. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Maxim in law, anything you say or any action taken by you against myself will be used before the jury. To deny constitutional law is sedition at common law and carries full asset stripping and life imprisonment. Do you understand?
No, because I haven't read all of it.
Right. So, you know, I'm here today. I'm calling for the arrest of Andy Marsh for a dereliction of his duty in getting to the bottom of all of this.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's all I've got to say, really.
Okay. And I will pass it up the chain.
Well, I know what the answer will be. It's the same as it always is, yeah? Because the people that pull your strings are the same criminals doing this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah? But I must warn that any police constable that comes to my door, yeah, on behalf of a fraudulent warrant, right, I will be pushing for that constable to stand before a common law court. Yeah?
Okay.
Thank you. So all I have to say, and thanks for your time. I'm sorry I'm a bit passionate because I'm angry. And thousands of us in this country are angry. I'm sure you've got children. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? You need to protect your children's futures. Right? This is the kind of stuff that's going on. You took an attestation under common law, yeah? But what you are as well is a police officer, completely different to a police constable. Two different things. One works for a corporation, one works for the people, yeah?
Don't know about
No,
that.
it is.
Don't know about that.
No, well, you look into it, right? One works for a corporation, one works for the people. You wouldn't have been told about this. They've not been teaching common law in schools since the 60s. Yeah? And they're certainly keeping it from you guys. And you guys are going to get yourself in trouble if you don't start knuckling down and start, you know, standing with the people and stop this treason. You've got kids, you need to look after their futures. And, you know, you've probably learnt a little bit here this afternoon. I hope you have, and I don't want to seem arrogant when I say that. But it's important you guys know what your position is in society, yeah? you must stand with the people, not for corporations. All police forces are corporations. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, well, they are.
Okay.
You check it up on Companies House. Every police force is a corporation. Every one of these fraudulent courthouses were corporations since 2008. Right? Well, where's the justice in that? If it's all about money, where's the justice? It's got to stop. Thank you very much. Let me shake your hand. I hope you've learned a little bit this afternoon.
Thank you very much indeed. Would it be okay to take your name and number, just because this is going to be evidence for us to produce if necessary? Yes. Sorry, my darling.
If you show your warrant card, that would be good as well.
I won't film the warrant card.
No, you don't need to film it, as long as you just show me.
Yeah.
So I know that you're a police constable and not... Yeah,
Can you read it
Lewis.
out?
Yeah.
Please? Sorry.
I'll
I don't need to
give
send
my
it. I
card
don't.
then.
Oh, you're
All
a
right.
star. Thank you.
That's great. But please check.
Okay.
All police forces are corporations. Yeah?
Yeah.
And what do corporations do? They make money for the shareholders.
Thank you. Thank you very much.